Boys, we over here on the Kawasaki 250, the old KX, and let me tell you, this bike is a sleeper. I don't know why. Well, I kind of do know why people are using it, because them bars be thick. But we're over here on TFC's Lakewood. This is also known as Jason Anderson's favorite track. Also known as, that's a little high elevation joke for you there, by the way. Some of you will get it, some of you won't. This is Thunder Valley, almost called it High Valley, which is a High Point and Thunder Valley mix. I don't know why. But yeah, the Kawasaki 250. I don't know. A lot of people, like, I don't see anyone running this bike. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to run a few laps on this whole track here, and then we're going to go over to some soupy cross. Let's see if I can quad this. First lap, thoughts on this? Yeah. No, I can't. I am running, okay, so I am running my Supercross setup, so my gearing's a little chonked, and we'll talk about gearing here in a minute. But I don't see anyone running this bike. Like, literally, oh my, like, literally no one. I think there was one Kawasaki in the main event, and I'm trying to figure out why, and the only thing I can think of is because, first of all, people don't like the model. I know. The bars are thick. The bars are long. Nobody likes it. It's kind of strange. I get it. I understand. But let's go inside here and totally butcher it, and then we'll double into a little triple and just totally ruin our lap time. Let's overshoot the corner here. Avoid all the bumps. That's how good this bike is. You just avoid all the bumps. Let's just drag our whole side of the bike through that rut. People don't like this bike because I think it's just the model. I also think that whoa, voice crack. I think it feels a little like, I've seen a lot of people on TikTok, because I posted a TikTok saying the Kawasaki slept on. I think it's because it feels a little sluggish at first, but I still think people are getting used to the new engine mapping, or like engine power curves. You know, like, I don't want to say power bangs. I'm pretty sure that's a two-stroke thing, so we're going to go power curve. I don't want to get the old Timmy with his glasses and push him. I'd be like, Reaper Dog, that's a two-stroke terminology. Anyway, yeah, I think the power curves people are still getting used to. But I'm pretty sure this bike, now, nothing has really been released yet as far as, like, where they officially make their power. But according to my calculations, my testing, this bike be making its power at the high, like, mid-high to high RPM. That's kind of my thought. And I think a lot of people don't rev their bikes. Like, I mean, obviously everyone revs their bike in the air because they're just psychopaths. But like, nobody revs their bikes on the ground or revs them out. They will shift as soon as it gets to a high RPM. Oh my. Oh wow, she just soaked that up, which is something else I want to talk about in this bike. But I think that's why I see a lot of people. And when I say a lot of people, I mean like pub lobbies. I'm standing through that corner. A lot of people really like the Husky, KTM, and Honda, and all of those bikes make all their power like low to mid range, and they kind of flatten off as the revs get higher. Again, here I go, going inside. We're gonna grease that rut, kind of double into a triple again. We're gonna stay on the track this time. Yay, W Doc. And I think it's a lot easier for people to, like, I think they have to think a lot less when they can just kind of lug the bike and it makes all of its power. That's why that Husky is so good. The Husky 250, the Husky makes all of its power, you know, kind of bottom mid-end. I mean, at least that's how it feels. Again, I don't have any, like, statistics. I also think that's why people really like the Yamaha and Supercross, because the SpongeBob. I think the YZ makes its power, like, it's very linear on the YZ. There isn't like a whole... Okay, so that is one thing on this bike, is the rear end I have not figured out yet. That's probably the only issue I would say for me on this bike, is the rear end is a little weird. But the YZ makes all of its power. It's like really consistent. It's really predictable. And I think that's why people, especially in Supercross, that's why people really like the YZ, is if you have to lug it, it can still kind of get the job done. Now, the YZ still, I feel like, makes most of its power at higher RPMs. You know, I run a pretty big rear sprocket on the YZ for Soupy, because I don't like to let her sing, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, back to the KX. So I think this thing, dude, okay, hold on. But before we talk about the KX, ever since these new OEMs have come out, I have the biggest problem with like understeering. Dude, I do that. I go off the track more now than I think I ever did. I will go off the track in one race like 9 times, and I don't know that I ever did that in previous OEMs. It's just, I think it's a skill issue on my end. The bikes are just a little heavier, and I just kind of suck, so I don't know. Anyway, the other really good thing with the KX, and you'll notice it when we go over to Supercross here in like 2 seconds, is this suspension on this bike is actually like wild. It oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. It almost feels like the front end's like not on the ground. Like it almost feels like it's floating a little bit, like a little broken. And I don't know if you guys run vibration in your controllers, but I get the least amount of vibration on the KX of any bike. I know I'm about to get like 900 comments. Dog, you play with vibration? No wonder you're a bot. It's really not a big deal. Trust, it's really fine. I've been playing with vibration for, since Call of Duty 4 when you guys were in diapers. It's fine. I was drop shotting kids for Blue Tiger. It's fine. Yeah. Anyway, so let's run some Supercross and I'll show you them whooper-doodles. All right, boys, we're over here on the Aerial Preseason 2023 race season preseason track. And the only reason I'm on this track before everyone's going to be like, oh, just ride A1, man, just because you're not really good. I'm doing this because people, every time I run like a free or a pay track, people always want a free track. Look at the whoops. Sorry for blowing your eardrums out. You see that? Look how slow I am from this section. Also, like, I feel like I clipped right there, and getting that triple out was a lot easier than it would be on the YZ. If you clip on the YZ, I feel like I have a hard time getting out of that. Even like, I don't know, the YZ I feel like doesn't get over that as clean. My point to this is people say this thing doesn't make a lot of power, but look at it, she's making power. Okay, I'm going rather slow into these whoops because I'm a bot. Okay, don't judge this. Don't judge this. Don't look at this. We're gonna wheel tap that. Okay, don't judge that run through the whoops. Okay, that's your fault. Look at that. You're all triple in. We're gonna clip because I lost it a little bit. We're gonna save it. We're gonna save it. We're gonna save it. We're gonna save it. Yeah, that's what I thought. You guys are like, duck's a butt. Yeah, what's up, bro? Oh, we hit a little restart in our lap here because Doc is a bot, and I forgot that I was recording and testing. Oh, look at that. Triple in. Triple over. Watch this. Ready, 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 ready. Click third in the corner. Lug it. It's going to get up to RPM. D. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, this thing munches the whoopers, dude. I'm telling you. I honestly think that with a good setup, this KX is the best 250 in the whoops. Like, no cappuccinos. Absolutely no cappuccinos. Only factoids. We're going to downshift here back into second to get them RPMs up. I think once people realize how to ride these bikes, and I'm hoping that when they release the PDF, that'll help a lot. Oh man. When they release the PDF, and I think they explain power curves, I'm hoping that it explains power curves in the PDF. Because I think people will understand a little bit more. Oh my. I think people will understand, like, just to understand how the bikes work, and that they can make the bikes function really however, they can make. I think any of these bikes can be viable. As I crash again, but that's just me. I think any of these bikes can be a viable option, and I've seen a lot of complaining about the YZ being the best, and I do think that the YZ is the best, but I don't think that means the other bikes aren't competitive. I think that is just the best bike out of the gate, and I think the pro scene is always going to reflect the absolute best bike because people are just constantly looking for that little edge, obviously, and with no like teams that you have to ride a Cowie or you have to ride a Suzuki. I think you're always just going to see the pro scene mostly stacked with whatever like the meta bike is, because there's always going to be a meta, right? There was in beta 17, there was in beta 16. There's always going to be a meta, And I think you're going to see the pro scene a lot. That's just always how it's going to be. But for like the rest of the world that is not very, very, very fast, I'm pretty confident you guys can ride whatever bike that you want. You know, I think you guys and I think you'll be able to be competitive at whatever level you're currently at, whether that's, you know, 100 hours and you're just starting to get the hang of the game, or, you know, maybe you're right off qualifying times in aerial. Like, I still think you'll be able to put those times down on pretty much any of these bikes. And I think the only reason this bike slept on is just the rear end is a little weird, but I think you can get it there. Like, I've been working on it a little bit, and I think I've gotten it a lot closer. So anyway, boys, I think that's all for a talk today. I just want to talk to you guys and let you know about this whole KX. I hope you guys are doing well. Please let me know if you need anything. Thank you for, you know, my last video. I guess I sounded a little sad. Oh my. Yeah, in my last video, I had a few people reach out to me and be like, yo, you good, man? And I appreciate you guys. And yeah, I have been having a hard couple of weeks, but that's okay. You know, I was doing some reading in my Bible today in Hebrews, and there's that verse that it's in Hebrews 13, I believe, that he will never leave you, he'll never forsake you. And that really, as hard, like, that hit home today. And it, like, sometimes I feel like Christians, when they, you know, they read a verse, they could just be like, and sometimes it is like this, but like, oh yeah, everything's totally fine, like, God's gonna never leave me, never forsake me. And like, while that is absolutely true, that could be a hard thing to read sometimes, you know, because no matter what situation you're going through, that can be a hard thing to grasp. Like, if you're going through something difficult and you read that, it's like, well, I don't feel you now, but that doesn't mean, I think it's important for us to remember that just because, oh my, I am just swappage, just because it's hard for us to fathom or to feel doesn't mean that it's not true. And I think that's where some, wow, I suck. That's because I'm thinking about the verse. That's where the, you know, our faith has to come into play. That verse is absolutely true. It's in the middle of Hebrews 13, that he won't leave us, he won't forsake us, no matter what situation we're going through. So I don't know, that was really encouraging to me when I was reading this morning. I hope it's encouraging for some of you guys. If you need to talk, I love you, and I hope you have a good day. I'm sorry for being a bot in these last couple laps, but that's just what happens. Bike life, baby. Bike life, baby. Bike life, baby. All right, peace.